The dead were thrown away. The living wished they were. The Atlantic stretched endlessly, silent and indifferent, as a wooden slave ship carved through its waters, carrying human souls in chains. Beneath the deck, darkness swallowed men and women who had once walked freely beneath African skies, now reduced to cargo in a floating prison. They had been marched from villages across West Africa, through forests and dust roads, driven by traders toward a coastline none had ever feared before. Families were torn apart in seconds, mothers screaming as children were pulled from their arms by armed traders. At the shore, towering European ships waited like wooden monsters against the horizon. European traders inspected bodies as if examining livestock, pressing fingers against muscles, checking teeth, calculating profit. Iron shackles snapped shut around wrists and ankles, sealing fate with a metallic finality. When the sails filled with wind, the shoreline disappeared, and so did every familiar sound of home. Below deck, bodies were stacked shoulder to shoulder, barely able to breathe. The air thickened with sweat, blood, vomit, and human waste. Disease spread without mercy. Dysentery, fever, smallpox, turning the hold into a graveyard. The living lay pressed against the dying, unable to escape death's warmth beside them. Above deck, captains studied ledgers, calculating profit margins. To them, each life had a price, insured cargo in human form. When sickness threatened profit, the sick were dragged above deck. Blinded by sudden daylight, they were thrown into the sea. Sharks followed the ships, drawn by what trailed behind. Some refused to eat, choosing starvation over slavery. Metal tools forced mouths open against their will. Revolts erupted in flashes of desperate courage. Most rebellions were crushed with gunfire and whip. Others chose the ocean, leaping into the Atlantic in defiance. Nets were strung along rails to stop the loss of cargo. Weeks turned into months, skin blistered under tropical heat. Some whispered stories of home and fading voices. Memory became resistance against erasure. Millions embarked. Millions never saw land again. At last, land appeared on the horizon. Survivors believed the nightmare was over. They were wrong. The true horror waited on land.